this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the Prairie Stitch. Really beautiful 2-row repeated pattern, similar on the front and the back. Great one for beginners using the half treble in UK terms, half double in US. Just a really nice stitch, works out really quickly and is a 2-row repeated pattern after your foundation rows. So let's have a look at the tutorial. So for this tutorial I'm going to be using an Aran weight yarn. This is Stylecraft, I think in the colourway Fondant, and I'm using a 5mm hook. You can use any size yarn you want, any weight, with a corresponding crochet hook. For example, a double crochet with a 4mm hook would work perfectly. I also have scissors to cut off my ends, and I have a needle to sew in my ends. So we're going to start off with a foundation chain. So we're going to make a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And the foundation chain needs to be made in multiples of 2, so an even number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I'm going to go up to 20. So what you need to do now is to decide how long you would like your piece to be and make your chains in an even number for your desired length. So pause the video now and I shall see you in a moment. So I have my row of 20 chains and we're going to work in the second chain from the hook. So we don't count the one on the hook, so 1, 2, there's our second chain there, and we're going in there with a double crochet. That's UK terminology. In US terminology that would be a single crochet. So we insert into the second chain, yarn over, pull back through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both of those loops, and there's your double crochet. Insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just going to work a double crochet into each of our stitches or our chains all the way down the row. This gives us a nice foundation row to work into. So pause the video now whilst you work your way down your foundation chain with a double crochet in each chain, and I shall see you in a moment. So just coming up to my last stitch now for row 1, tighten my tail, and there I have my first foundation row. So row 1 and row 2 are going to be foundation rows, row 3 and 4 are the repeated pattern. So we're going to chain 2 for row 2, and throughout the pattern the chain 2 counts as a stitch, whereas the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So I'm going to turn my work. Now, as I just said, the chain 2 counts, and when a chain counts, you don't work into the base of that chain. You're working into the next stitch. So into that next stitch, I'm going to do 2 half trebles. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Working into the same stitch now, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 on your hook. Then we're going to skip a stitch and we're going to do 2 half trebles in the next stitch. That's 1 and that's 2. And we're going to continue this way all the way down the row. So skip a stitch, 2 half trebles. Skip a stitch, 2 half trebles. So pause the video now whilst you work your way back down the row by skipping a stitch and then making 2 half trebles in the next stitch, and I shall see you in a moment. So I'm just coming to the end of my row, so I've done 2 half trebles here, skip a stitch, and then this is my last stitch, and I'm just going to put 1 half treble in the last stitch. That will give us a nice neat edge. So there's our row 2 complete. So as I said earlier, row 3 and row 4 are the repeated patterns. So for row 3 we're going to chain 1. The chain 1 does not count, therefore we're going to work in that very first stitch, and we're going to do double crochet in that very first stitch. And in the next stitch a double crochet, and we're going to work all the way along the row with a double crochet in each stitch. So pause the video now whilst you work your double crochet row, and I will see you at the end. So for row 4 then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2 and turn our work. And I said earlier that chain 2s will count as a stitch, so we're not going to work in that very first stitch there. So we're going to do our 2 half trebles in the next stitch. So that's 1 half treble and 2 half trebles. Skip a stitch, then 2 half trebles in the next stitch. 1 and 2. Skip a stitch, 2 half trebles in the next stitch. 1 and 2, and we just repeat that to the end of the row. So skip a stitch and then 2 half trebles in the next stitch. So continue to the end of the row, and I'll see you at the end of row 4. So when you get to the end of row 4 then you'll have 1 stitch left, and we're just going to put 1 half treble in that stitch. So rows 3 and 4 are the repeated pattern. So for row 3 then we chain 1 and we turn our work. The chain 1 doesn't count, so we do a double crochet in each stitch, and then we work the row 4 that we've just worked with the 2 half trebles. So rewind the video if you need to catch up on any of that, or if you need reminding of what to do. I'm going to work up a few more rows and I will see you in a second. So I've just worked up a few more rows for you to see how it looks. Really lovely design there, very simple, very quick and easy to work up. A nice mindful stitch. I do like a mindful blanket stitch. This would make a great scarf because it's got just enough density that it's not going to let too much cold air through it. Just a really lovely 2-row repeated pattern for you to lose yourself in. So I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on the Prairie Stitch. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm to show us to other crocheters. I'll pop 2 more videos on screen to help you on your crochet journey, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!